It's not J. New Buckaroos. How the heck are you? I just got home from work a little bit ago. Gotta do one quick one with you. I'm off tomorrow, but then I go on a stretch, so I'm not gonna do too much, but just enough to relax tonight. Make sure everything's working here. Bear with me. Okay, so just double checking. Make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to. Uh, all right. Heck are you, man? Tired. I don't know. My legs have really been giving me trouble lately, and I can't figure out why. There. Oh, my legs have been hurt so bad. In my physical, nothing showed up there, but boy, they just really been giving me trouble. Uh, so I found one. I thought I drank all of these. Picked up a six pack, a couple, 3 months ago now, with Trader Joe's, called a drive through red, a dry hopped red ale. It's 7.2%, 42 IBUs. Had one hiding in the fridge there. So shit, I thought I drank all those. Really like this one, but I like a hoppy red. One of my favorite beers of all time. It was an imperial or double. I believe they called it imperial hoppy red. From Grand Teton, and sadly they don't make it anymore. But it was called the Pursuit of Hoppiness, and that beer was just insane, man. It was so good. Just poured. Sometimes I do this in advance, but I thought I'd just pour these right in front of you today. I just go with the basic whiskey today. I'm kind of tired, like I said, so I didn't want to use one of my really good ones tonight. Not going rock gut either, don't get me wrong, but I am going mainstream with the Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, artfully aged, the James Beam Distilling Company. I've always liked Basil Hayden's products. Some don't. The quality is good, but for me, they've always been rather subtle, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I think that's why some bourbon drinkers aren't a fan, is because of the subtleties. You've got to work for some of those notes. It's not in your face bourbon. This was a Christmas gift from a good friend, a Brad. All right, let me show you that bottle there. Finish pouring that red. Want to pick up this whiskey first and check those notes. My whiskey neat glass, you can see here. Oh, mercy. Yeah, I've been tired ever since I came back from. I was out for about 9 days. Had some minor surgery done, carpal tunnel, and a couple other things going on. But boy, my bones have been hurting ever since. I don't know if it's just taking a while for my legs to get used to standing for 6 to 10 hours a day. I don't know, but I've been really hurting. And I've been trying to cut back on medications as well, so that could be part of it. I haven't been taking the anti-inflammatories lately, and I may just have to go back to taking them because that could be why I'm having so much pain. Uh, Trying to make a decision tonight. Should I have a monster relaxer? I wanted to relax with some whiskey and a beer because sometimes just the ritual of it, right? You know, picking out the right whiskey, getting the pour, checking the nose. Sometimes that helps that relaxation. Oh yeah, that's very nice. But it is again, it's a very subtle whiskey. Oh, I have one beer, one whiskey, and fix something for dinner, and maybe put a movie on. We'll call her an evening. Do have a workout scheduled tomorrow at 11, and I've missed a couple due to this. Well, actually, this ain't wrong hands now. So I need to get back in the swing again. This is really a nicely done beer. It's Trader Joe's beer. Oh, see if I can read this here. They give you some notes, but the lettering is really dark and small. The sweet brown sugars, black pepper, and charred oak. Okay, then. Yeah, let's pull up some brown sugar. A very light. I'm gonna say light brown sugar, not necessarily light in flavor, but light as in just a little bit of light brown sugar, light on the molasses. But again, yeah, the Bethel Hayden to me is very very subtle, and it could be because of some of the products I've been drinking lately. But I've always felt that way about the products, which is why they're nice, I guess. Because not every bourbon has to, smack you in the face, right? It's a perfect bourbon, perfect whiskey for drinking neat because of the subtleties. When you can really sit back and relax with, rather. I'm going to say there's also a little bit of just a slight notion of honey there, right at the finish. The light honey, like sweetness there, right at the end. Oh, mercy. Sometimes I bring up politics or more likely social issues that have become political in the videos. If there is a pertinent current event, and there's just a lot going on these days, but then I hesitate sometimes because everything seems to be quite polarizing these days. Things that should have been or seemingly innocuous, I guess, have become hot button issues all of a sudden, or things that would seem obvious to one all of a sudden is upsetting to someone else. And I'm really not sure why or how that's happened, to be honest with you, but it seems to be where we're at. It's harder to find middle ground with folks, and everybody is so entrenched in what they believe. I mean, you watch people murdered in cold blood. You think, oh, this should be obvious now. Now they're going to finally get what's going on. But no, oh well, if they would have just complied, okay. I don't know how to have a conversation with somebody like that anymore. I mean, no, yeah, okay. Your argument is they shouldn't have put themselves in that situation. That's possible, but nevertheless, death isn't the punishment for noncompliance. And this is the part you all don't seem to be getting, and I can't figure out why it's not that obvious to you. No, they shouldn't have. Maybe they shouldn't have been there, but they weren't doing anything wrong. They were exercising their First Amendment right, and the one gentleman was exercising his First and Second Amendment right, and somebody killed him for doing both of those things. So whether you think he should have been there or not is irrelevant. The fact that whether he was there or not, he shouldn't have been murdered for being there. And you can't. We didn't hear a lot of a good guy with the gun. We need the good guy with the gun. Well, they killed the good guy with the gun. The good guy was there and he was helping people, and they shot him for it. I'm not sure how we come back as a society with that mentality. We've got folks applauding fascism, and I don't know if those folks are lost for good. I know I'm not going to see it their way. And clearly, they're not going to see it my way either. And that's what I don't know what's going to happen to us as a society. Whatever we tried to be at one point seems to be lost completely. I've had to quit having discussions with some folks because, I mean, the only reason to have a nice spirited discussion is if folks are listening to the points of view, but you've got folks that will not. They are so entrenched in their bigotry at this point that there is no way for them to see themselves out. That cognitive dissonance, they can't admit they were wrong at this point. Because then they'd have to go back and question every decision. This things, I don't know. I don't know if things used to be simpler. Maybe we just saw things differently. I don't know. And I feel like there didn't used to be that Sith-like mentality that if you're not with me, you're against me. There used to be some middle ground. I mean, everything isn't just black and white. There is a lot of gray areas, but some folks aren't able to see that. For me, it's simple. Whether any of those people should have been there or not doesn't matter. They didn't deserve to die, and they were just murdered in cold blood. And I'm not sure how you can see it another way. The penalty for noncompliance is in death. Wisconsin, uh, drink, Wisconsin drink review. So I appreciate that, man. I'm going to post a comment there for a second. Uh, oh, mercy. Now they mentioned brown sugar, black pepper, and you do kind of feel those things. Again, a slightly finer point. I said light brown sugar, not a dark brown sugar, because the molasses note is real light. Feel a little bit of honey right there in the finish. The barrel notes, again, the best one thing I've always noticed about Basil Hayden, the barrel notes are always very light and subtle. But there's just enough there. There's just enough there to clean it up, to dry up any residual sweetness that might be there. Finishing up my last drive-through red. Again, it's a nicely done hoppy red. Oops, wrong button there. screen went wonky. I don't know what I had something, man. Anyways, I digress. I don't want to talk long today. Then I come here, have one beer, one whiskey with you. I'll fix a little something to eat, put a movie on, and relax. But I just wish we could get to the point where common sense seemed more prevalent than it does now. When we cared more about people than we did money, we actually cared about people's lives, and we seem to have lost our humanity. And I'm not sure how we get it back at this point. I mean, people want to get you fired if you disagree with them. I mean, I've had several, I won't, not death threats per se, but I've had some threatening emails come my way or messages on social media. Folks wanting to get me fired because they disagree with me. I've even had folks go directly to my boss talking about my personal social media pages. I mean, I don't know why or when we became that, because it didn't used to matter, man. If you disagreed with somebody, you just left them alone. You didn't look at everything they did. You didn't hang out with them. But now it's different. I mean, your haters seem to be the folks that are watching you the most. Once they take a disliking to you, now they're watching everything you just so they can find a way to hate on it. And I just don't get that mentality. I don't know why people want to hold on to that much hate that you want to get somebody fired just because you disagree with them. Somebody that's never affected their life. I mean, things that I've done have never affected their lives personally, but still they want to get me fired. I just don't get it, man. I don't know why you would intentionally hold on to that much hate. It seems like it would destroy you from the inside. And that's what I see in a lot of people. You see that hate just eating them up and showing on their faces. Uh, ah. Well, the whiskey's starting to work. Starting to relax, man. So let me show you this bottle one more time. Again, I want to thank Brad for giving this one to me. The Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon, artfully aged. They're 80 proof. It's done very well. I don't. It was a. I haven't had it in a long time before he gave me this bottle, and now each time I pour it, I find something different in it. It is a very well done bourbon for a mass produced bourbon. But again, I don't want to overuse this word, but I think it is very subtle, especially compared to what most are today. It is on the subtle side, which why a lot of folks think, well, it doesn't have a lot of flavor. It does. It has a lot of flavor, but you got to work for it, right? It's delicate. It's like okay, you got a big porterhouse, you got it seasoned right. That's a lot of flavor. You got a nice lobster tail. It's delicate. You gotta wait for those flavors. They're a little more subtle. It's kind of like that. Not the best analogy I know, maybe, but yes, the flavors are more subtle, but it doesn't make it any less. So there you go. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I guess I just like to go back to a time where disliking somebody just meant you disliked them. Yeah. We're not going to be friends. That's okay. You can go that way. I'll go this way. Everything's fine. But it doesn't seem that simple anymore. When somebody takes a disliking to you, that's not enough for them. Now they want bad things to happen to you. They want to facilitate bad things happening to you. And again, I just don't understand that hateful mentality. It just makes no sense to me at all. Wrap it up, Tom. Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm also Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and oh, mercy. Well, excuse me. All right, good guys. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I appreciate it.